Good evening, friends. Good evening, Krishnamurthy sir. Today, we are in part 2 of day 6 for TCM Fundamentals. And today we are going to learn about spleen and its functions as per TCM. And lastly, we had learned about kidney. And after the session, we have a small test coming from Krishnamurthy sir. So I request everyone to put yourself on mute and listen to the class. And please attend the test also till the end. Thank you, everyone. Welcome, Krishnamurthy sir. Good evening.
Thank you. So hello, everyone. Welcome to the class. So today we will be learning another important organ called spleen. So spleen, before many of us, before joining acupressure class, the probability of we hearing the name of spleen is less. We would have heard about heart, we would have heard about liver, we would have heard about kidney, but the chances of we hearing about the spleen is less. But once you come into the acupressure field, it is extensively used. The name spleen is extensively used, and it is a very important organ. As per Western medicine, it is almost like neglected, kind of. It is hardly anybody mentions about this organ. But in TCM, it is extensively used. And whenever we say spleen, so whenever we say spleen, it includes the functioning of pancreas also. Okay. So in TCM, whenever we say spleen, it includes the functioning of pancreas. Say there are the spleen meridian is it flows on both sides of the body, both left and right. So what Dr. Wolz of Germany, he figured out was the meridian which flows on the right side represents the spleen meridian, which flows on the right side represents pancreas, and the spleen meridian which flows on the left side represents spleen. So this is what he figured out through his experiments. Okay, so the right side channel of spleen in the body is pancreas, and the left side meridian, spleen meridian, is for spleen. Okay, but in traditional Chinese medicine, both meridians, which is flowing on left and right, we say it as spleen. Okay, and whenever we say spleen, the functions of pancreas are also included in it. So what is the work of spleen? So in Western medicine, it is mentioned that it is one of the lymphatic organ, and it is the graveyard of RBCs. But apart from these functions, the spleen does many other functions in the body, and we will try to understand about those The first function that the spleen does is it digests the food and fluids. So it digests the food and fluids. It belongs to the digestive system. The spleen organ belongs to the digestive system, and it is the organ in the middle warmer. The middle warmer. So the main function is to digest the food. How it works, we will try to understand. So many of you may be thinking the function of digesting the food is stomach, right? How is it that it is spleen? So when we put food into our mouth, where does it go? It goes into the stomach or it goes to the spleen?
It goes to the stomach.
Yeah. So then we are mentioning that the spleen is the one which digests the food and fluids. How is it?
The key.
The key. Okay. So this is like, this is where we will get the answer.
Absorption of the nutrients is helped by spleen.
Right. Right. So if you see this picture, so the stomach is here, and right next to it is the spleen. Okay. So the stomach is what? The yang organ. Okay. So stomach is the yang organ, and spleen is the yin organ. Okay. Now, stomach receives energy from where? So stomach is the one which is digesting the food, but the energy supplied to the stomach through spleen. So spleen is giving energy to stomach to do its function. So if we say spleen is responsible for digestion, is it a correct statement or wrong statement?
Correct.
It is a,
Correct, sir.
isn't it? So the spleen is giving energy to the stomach. The food is getting processed, digested and all in the stomach, but in the background, spleen is functioning. Okay. So that is the food part. And what else does it do? Second, so it has absorbed the food, right? Food energy. Now, and the dispersion of food throughout the body. Now that food energy has to be sent throughout the body, and especially to the hands and feet. The limbs. What are limbs? Hands and feet. So how we will understand that? So we will go into each one of these and try to understand in more detail. Okay. So it disperses food ki throughout the body and especially to hands and feet. So it controls RBC, WBC, and platelets. RBC is red blood cells, WBC is white blood cells, and platelets. Okay. So it controls that. How we will understand later. It performs the functions of transformation. So it transforms food into body, the transformation, and transportation. So the food which gets digested, it transports throughout the body. Holding, so it holds the organs in its place. They are not falling off, right? With gravity. Gravity is pulling the organs down, but they are not falling off. Why? Because the spleen is giving energy to keep the organs in its place, holding the organs in its place. And then rising. Against the gravity, it rises up. Okay. So these are the four main functions that the spleen does. Okay. So we'll go into each one of them and try to understand.
Sir, can you please repeat what is raising?
When I take up that, I will explain in detail. Okay. See, the energy has to go up, and in what all situations it goes up, we will discuss it. Okay. So, digesting food and fluids. Both stomach and spleen, like stomach and spleen, are paired organs, and both belong to the earth element. They belong to the earth element. So together they help in digestion of food. Okay. Together, both stomach and spleen work together to digest the food. Okay. If there is any disturbance in this function, following symptoms will occur. Or if I just want to simplify it, say you are seeing this picture over here, no? You are somebody is squeezing the cloth. And hold on. Anushkaji, if you could also make my other
Yes, sir.
guys into co-host, please. Those who are seated in a proper student position, only those people turn on the videos. Those who are walking around, those who are sleeping, those who are doing some other work, don't open the videos. Okay. So you are seeing that a person is squeezing the cloth. So when the cloth is squeezed, what happens? All the water which is there inside the cloth is flown out. And how is the cloth? Is it like a rope, well tied like a rope, or is it
Twisted.
Twisted
like a rope, or is it,
yes,
right? Or is it very flat? So it is all twisted and
yes.
tightly bound, right? When you squeeze it properly, it is like one rope, right? It is all twisted and like a rope. Similarly, the work of spleen is what? To squeeze the food and take out the energy. So in another word, if you understand it, is spleen is squeezing the food and releasing the nutrients out. Okay. if a person who is, say, squeezing this cloth, so should he have a strong hands? Right? Only if
Yes.
he has strong hands, he will be able to squeeze it. Otherwise, he will not be able to extract the full nutrition out of it, means full water out of it. Right? So similarly, if the spleen if the spleen has to take out the nutrition out of the food, so it should be strong. Okay. Only if the strength is proper, then it will be able to squeeze the nutrition out of the food. And when the food is well squeezed, if the food is well squeezed, how will be the stool? What is like our digestive system? What is it? So we have one stomach. Okay. And from stomach, we have small intestine. And from there, we have large intestine. I'll just draw this. So we have large intestine, and then, so this is not as per the actuals. I'm just trying to make you understand. So this is our stomach. And this is our small intestine. And this is our large intestine. And from the background here, the spleen is giving energy to stomach. So this is spleen. Okay. So this is very important to understand, because again and again, we will have to come back to the digestive system. Now, spleen is giving energy to the stomach to get the nutrition out. If it has squeezed well, then how will be the food which is coming out? So the food is flowing right into small intestine, and then finally it will come out in the form of stool. If the spleen has squeezed the food well, how will be the stool? It will be like a rope. No, this is like a rope, right? This is rope, right? So this will be well formed and in a rope structure. So what is this? This is like a rope. So if the spleen is strong, then the stool will be well formed like a rope. And if the spleen is weak, how will be the stool? It will be shapeless. So it will not be like a well-formed rope. It will be loose. So that is what is being told here. If there is any disturbance in this function, that is the digestion process, then the following symptoms will occur. And one of the main symptoms of spleen being weak is, it is the loose stool. The stool will not be having a proper shape like a rope. Okay. And this is very important diagnostic question that you will have to ask to figure out if the spleen is weak. Okay. And what else will happen? What else will happen? Say the person, imagine the person who is squeezing. His hands are strong. Then what will he do? He will say, give me more clothes. I will squeeze it out. That is what he will say, no? If the hands are strong, he will squeeze more. And if the hands are weak, what will he do? Will he take more clothes or less clothes?
Less clothes.
Take less clothes, right? So because he can't squeeze, if he takes more, he can't squeeze. And the same is with the spleen. So if the spleen is weak, then the urge of hunger will be less, because if they eat the food, then they will have to digest it. So because they have the spleen doesn't have enough energy to digest, so they will have less hunger. So they will eat little food. The hunger will not be high. And this is another important symptom of spleen problem. Okay. The stool is loose. Second, the appetite is less. And why is the appetite less? Why is the appetite
Spleen
less?
is weak. It cannot take much.
It cannot what much? It cannot
Squeeze.
Digest. It cannot digest properly.
Yes, it cannot digest or squeeze. So what does it do? It takes less workload. Okay. So, and there will be abdominal heaviness and distension. So the stomach, the upper part, like in the abdomen area, so there will be heaviness and it will be swelling, swelled out.
Sir, can you give examples of the other way, like loose stools or opposite of that?
That is well-formed stool.
Not
Well-
that one, sir. Like it cannot digest the food. Like
Hmm.
more digestion happening.
Or if somebody has good
Ah.
digestion. So if somebody has good digestion, that is what I'm telling. Say their stool will be well-formed. Okay, give me a moment.
I think she is asking if the spleen is too strong and is squeezing too much. What is the problem? What
Yeah.
is the case?
Generally, that kind of situation doesn't occur. See what I'm trying. So one is good, healthy spleen. And weak spleen. So in weak, if it is good, healthy spleen, how will be the stool? It will be well formed, like a rope. Okay. And it will be golden. So it will be well formed and it will be bounded. Okay. And well mashed. All the food that you have eaten will be mashed well. So there will be the food is well. I will okay. I'll write from the beginning. So the stool is well formed. Okay, and stool is, or the food is well mashed. Food is well mashed. Okay. No. So if your mixie is working well, what will it do? You put anything, it will properly blend it, right? So if the spleen is not strong, if it is weak, how will it be? So it will not have that shape. It will be just no, shapeless kind of. It will be like a lump.
So how do you differentiate between liver? Because similar symptoms are liver.
Hold on. No, they are not similar. So it will be just a lump without proper rope shape. So if the spleen is weak, the stool is not well formed. We also call it as loose stool. It is not loose motion. It is not loose motion. It is loose stool. Okay. And what will it have? It can have undigested food particle in the stool can have undigested food particles. Okay. So if the food that you put inside is not well mashed and it is coming, so you ate some green leaves or you ate some corn or something, it is just coming out, no, the pieces is not well mashed and it is coming out like that, then what is the sign? The spleen is
weak.
weak. Okay. So you put something in your mixie and
Sir,
you run and hold.
Undigested food is a
No, no.
kidney deficiency also
No. Hold on.
involve the kidney.
Hold on. So if you have a question, right, click on raise hand button, right? So that you click on raise hand button, so I know. Okay. Okay. So it is like a mixie. Okay. The actual mixie is the stomach, but the energy supplied to that mixie is from spleen. Okay. So the food. So these are two important telltale signs: well-formed stool and well-mashed stool. Okay. Yeah, many people, they can't digest lady fingers, etc. Okay, fine. So, okay, Namita.
So the second point that you added was low appetite. What if the stool is not well formed? It is loose stool, but the appetite is okay for the person. So
See,
do we connect?
See, it is probably at the first level of weakness.
Okay.
Like, say it is too, appetite is okay, but the stool is loose. Means it is in the beginning stage of, let's say, deficiency. When it further becomes more deficient, then both will start happening. And if it goes further down, then no distension, etc. will also start happening. Okay, it gets added up. More the deficiency, more symptoms will start getting added up. Okay, clear? Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sir, shall I ask question?
No, you click on raise hand button. I will allow you to ask. Okay, Vana, you wanted to ask a question, right?
Yes, sir. In the previous class, kidney involved also in the process of undigested food. Is correct?
No, the kidney is also involved in undigested food. Is that your question? Kidney?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Both yes and no is the answer.
Okay.
So how yes and no, how no? When will I explain? I will explain when I am taking triple warmer. Okay. So when I am
Thank you,
teaching
sir.
triple warmer, you will understand it. Okay. Subarna Roy.
Sir, the food not being absorbed properly is only the cause is only the weak spleen?
One of the causes weak spleen.
Okay, sir.
Okay. See, always in TCM or in any, there is no 0 and 100. So say it is always spleen or never spleen. No, it is not like that. Okay. In some of the cases, spleen is the reason. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Seema.
So, if somebody has a strong spleen and that person has more urge to eat or more hunger, how do you differentiate? Because these days everyone says, intermittent fasting and eat less frequent. So if that person eats less, then is there a harm or it does not matter?
See, there we call it as excess. No, stomach has more energy. If somebody is feeling consistent hunger, always wants to eat something, So then we say there is more energy in stomach. We don't say there is more energy in spleen. So it is like when I discuss stomach, I will you will get that answer. It is called stomach heat. Say more heat in stomach. Okay. Clear?
Yeah, partially. Thank you.
Yeah. So wait until we take stomach and you will get this. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Fedwa?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
You said low appetite and no well-formed stool. It's okay, but if it's well-formed stool but no appetite, is still the problem only spleen or another organ?
It could be with spleen. So it could be with spleen. It for proper diagnosis has to be made.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Fine. Okay. Rajia?
Yes, sir. You mentioned low appetite. Is it in general all 3 meals or in particular, like as stomach and spleen is during the morning hours? Only in particularly morning hours appetite?
Not necessarily with morning hours. Say they skipped the lunch.
Yes, sir.
And it did not bother them.
Okay.
They directly had dinner.
Dinner. Okay.
Or they skipped the breakfast. They had lunch at once. Or they just skipped the whole dinner. They did not eat. And they don't feel that urge to eat.
Urge. Okay,
So
sir, I understand.
generally they see the clock. Oh, it has time has come, so they will eat. So their appetite will be will be less. Means the portion size that they eat.
Yeah.
Will be.
It can be easily compromised, we can say. Yes.
Yeah. So they will eat some 2 bananas. They will be okay.
Okay with it. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yes, Ravindranath.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually, out of 3 points, in my case, what happened, digestion, no issue. And this one, well-formed stools also. Only thing I am feeling, the abdominal heaviness and bloating like that. But I don't think any distension. It is like a tight stomach, but I feel it is, I think I am feeling uneasiness actually. Yeah. So is it something to any spleen or something different?
Probably liver key stagnation. So generally I don't give personal these things, but okay.
No, general. Actually, this is whatever 3 points.
That is what I'm telling. I'm telling that in your case, what you based on the symptoms that you told, it may be liver key stagnation happening.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So please avoid personal questions. Ask conceptual questions. Okay. Sarita.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, if someone has this means not well-formed stool, if he has abdominal distension, but if appetite is good, so can we conclude that it is because of pancreas?
Repeat the question.
If someone is having this stool is not well-formed, and there is abdominal distension and heaviness, but he has good appetite. So can we consider this because in diabetes, like appetite is increased?
No, we cannot say, we don't use the word diabetes in TCM way of understanding. We always try to go to the organ level and see what is imbalanced in the organ, because diabetes can happen for multiple reasons. Okay, probably because of all the 5 organs can cause imbalance in any of the organ can cause diabetes for that matter. Okay, so it is something like this. Say when these stomach and spleen are paired organs. Okay, so these are the options. So when spleen goes down, the stomach may go up. Okay, or the stomach is here, only the spleen goes down.
Okay.
Or both spleen and stomach goes down.
Okay.
Okay. So in your case, probably it is like this. The spleen is going down and the stomach is going up. So the stomach heat is getting generated more, and the hunger is more. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Hema.
Namaste, sir. Sir, because of spleen deficiency, is that the reason we'll have a vitamin deficiency also?
It can be for multiple reasons, and it could be one of the reason could be yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay. CR Sudha, did you have a question? No question. Okay, fine. So this part is clear. Everybody is clear with the digestion part of spleen?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So next. So it disperses. Once after absorbing, it disperses the energy throughout the body.
So we don't see the screen.
Screen sharing is not happening.
Okay. You can see the screen now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once it is absorbing the nutrition from the food, or I should say extracting the nutrition, and then once it is available, it sends that nutrition throughout the body. So disperses food ki throughout the body, and especially to hands and feet. And when spleen is weak, so when spleen is weak, nourishment does not reach arms and feet in the right proportion. So the nourishment will not reach the spleen, arms and feet in right proportion. So what happens? The limbs, that is the hands and feet, that is the arms and feet, tend to become thinner. And there will be distension in abdomen, right? Anyhow, it will cause distension in abdomen, like the abdomen will start becoming bulged. Okay. So the abdomen will become more. So if you see this picture, the abdomen is bulged. The abdomen is bulged and the hands and feet are thin. Hands and feet are thin. So if you see this kind of structure in the patient, where abdomen is distended, but the hands and feet are thin. So this is one diagnostic tool to determine that that person's spleen is weak. Okay, we will come to sagging also. So this part is clear.
Yes,
And
sir. Yes, sir.
Because the energy is not distributed properly throughout the body and the cells are not receiving the energy, what will they feel? They will feel fatigue, tiredness. They feel tired every now and then. Okay. So they feel tired. That is another symptom. We will come. If the arms and leg are fat, we will come to it. Okay. It can be because of multiple reasons. So everybody is okay with this? Hands and feet?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Next one. And generally, they also see after food. Just make. I will add one more point. They tend to feel sleepy after a meal. So what is happening here is, say the spleen is weak, so it can't do much of the squeezing. So now somebody put lot of food. So what happens? The spleen has to do that work. So to do that work, it has to draw the blood. So what it will do, the body will send more blood to the digestive system, because it cannot work out with only little bit of blood. It requires more blood. So more blood is sent to the digestive system, and the amount of blood which is there in the other parts, say your brain, your hands and your feet and all, will become lesser. So because there is insufficient blood in other parts of the body, and what will you say the amount of blood is less in the hands and feet, and now you want to work, so it will not be possible, right? So the best thing is to put the body into rest. So the body, they feel sleepy, because when they sleep, you are not using your body, right? Your hands and feet are not moving. So the amount of blood supply to the hands and feet and your brain will become less, and more blood will be sent to your digestive system. So that is why they feel more sleepy after a meal. Okay. So this part is also clear, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Amita Thakur.
So my question over here is that when we mention that, a person with weak spleen has, the extremities are weak and thin. So can we relate it to the coldness of the hands and legs over here?
Not necessarily. See, we will discuss this in the future chapters at some point of time. See, there is something called spleen yang. Spleen has both yin and yang. So if the yang of the spleen has become less, then they can start feeling coldness. Okay, so it is a little higher topic.
Okay.
So
okay.
Whenever we take that diagnosis part, we will discuss in detail.
Sure.
All of
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Vani. Vani is not having. Sarita?
Sir, so for pancreas, is it yang or yin?
Spleen. Whenever we say spleen can have multiple type of deficiency. We are not going into it. It can have Ki deficiency, yang deficiency, blood deficiency, all of those. What is that? We will take up in the advanced classes. Okay. Vani?
Yeah, sir, you had said after a meal, the patient will feel sleepy. So is it good for him to sleep?
Yeah, because they can't do more work. They will feel very tired. So they will find some place to go and sleep. Right. So it is better for them to sleep. Okay. Next. Control RBC, WBC, and platelets. So these are the three main components in the blood. What is blood? Blood is a liquid. So imagine an aquarium in which there is water, and within that water, there are few fishes swimming, right? So similarly, that water which is there in aquarium, similarly, there is something called plasma. So it is a fluid in which three types of cells are swimming. And that three type of cell is RBC, WBC, and platelet. Okay. So whenever, see what is the work is of the spleen is, let's say, I will draw here. See, we have a blood vessel. And the blood is flowing inside this. So the blood should not come out of that. The blood should not come out of that vessel. See, all the say vessels, etc., they are porous, right? Porous in nature, isn't it? The skin is porous. No, every layer has some amount of porosity. So the blood should not come out of the vessel. So it should not come out. So the energy of the spleen keeps the blood inside the blood vessel. So what does the spleen does? The spleen keeps the blood within the blood vessel. So imagine that there is one invisible energy which is around the vessels. So an invisible energy. Okay. Now that keeps the vessel, blood inside the vessel. If the energy of the spleen becomes less, so imagine if the energy has become less somewhere. So what will happen? What will happen? The blood will
microhemorrhage.
Yeah. So like it starts coming out. You have purpura, you have hemorrhages and all those things, right? So whenever the ability of the spleen has become less to hold the blood within the vessel, the blood starts leaking out. Okay. So, and this kind of situation can give rise to hemorrhages, purpuras, etc. Okay. This is very important to understand.
Sir, what is this purpura?
Purpura is, say, some people will have blood coming out of the skin, no, and it will kind of create some marks. First, blood clot marks will be there. So that is called as purpura.
Purple patches on the skin, sir?
Yeah, it can be purple, red, initially red, then later purple, black. Okay. So this is the work of spleen, and whenever this kind of situation happens, there is a treatment called, what is the treatment? Spleen
Not controlling blood.
Okay. So this is a very important topic. So everybody understood control of the blood?
Yes.
Yes, sir, but spleen not controlling blood is the name of the treatment, sir?
Yes, it is a protocol. We will learn this in the advanced classes.
Sir, so at the energy level, the spleen is controlling, right, sir?
Yes. See, blood vessel is everywhere in the body. Spleen is in only one place, small organ. So how can it control the entire thing? It is through energy. Okay. So this is holding energy, holding blood. And I will discuss this later. And dead RBC is processed in spleen. Okay. So dead RBCs are processed in spleen. It is called graveyard of RBCs. So it is also called as graveyard of RBC. Say something in your house goes, it is no more usable. What will you try to do? You will try to see if you can repurpose it for some other work, right? Okay, sorry. Say so dead RBC is processed in spleen, and it is also called as graveyard of RBCs. So what I'm trying to say is, body is a very efficient machine. Say in your house something goes bad. What is the first thing that you do? Either you will will you think of throwing it out, or will you think, can I reuse it for something else?
Reuse it for something else.
Reuse it.
Yeah. So body also tries to see if if RBC is dead. So there may be some components within it which can be seen if it can be reused. So that reprocessing purpose is taken care of in spleen. And spleen is the major lymphatic gland. So it is also part of our lymphatic circulation. So, and what is this lymph? Lymph is that part of defense or immune system of body. No, it is not liver. So lymphatic system, the master of lymphatic system is spleen. Okay. So this part is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So can we elaborate on lymphatic gland? I mean, spleen as lymphatic gland?
We will discuss this when we take up the lymphatic part. Okay. So whenever we discuss the anatomy, physiology of the body, in detail, we will discuss lymphatic glands.
So how that reuse is being done by the spleen?
So we will discuss that in those classes. Okay. We will deviate from the topic and go into the side part. So, okay. So keep all this curiosity on, and we will discuss it. So next is transplant transport, hold, and rise. So transform food into food key. So food is, say you eat a banana. That banana doesn't know that it has to become a male body or a female body. It has to become eyes, or it has to become muscle, or it has to become a bone. It doesn't know. It is just organic matter. But once you eat that banana is infused with the energy of the spleen. So the food becomes food key, the food energy. So that food energy is intelligent. It knows what to become, when to become, how to become. All of those information is infused in the spleen. So that is what is called as food key. So transforming food into food key, that work is done by spleen. Okay. And transporting that key to the entire body is also done by spleen. And in the bracket, especially to arms and feet, leg, arms and leg. And the third one, holding. What is the work of holding? To keep the blood within the blood vessel, is holding the blood within the blood vessel. Holding. And the fourth one is raising. That is keeping all the organs raised against the gravity. So what is the gravity doing all the time?
Taking things down.
Pulling the things
Pull out the things.
Yeah, so it is
Pulls the
always
things.
trying to pull things down, right? So if this is, say, our earth, say earth is there, and we are standing on this. So now what is the energy of the earth? Gravity. It is always pulling things down. So it is always pulling down. See, your hair is there. Your hair is not going down. It is standing up. Right? Say your eyebrows is there. Eyebrows are not falling down, the air. It is in its position. Isn't it? The skin is there, your cheeks. So it is not drooping down. It is standing in its place. Your eyeballs are there. Eyeballs are sitting in its place. It is not just falling down. So there is a counter force which is against the gravity. So this counter force against the gravity is provided by spleen. Okay. So when this counter force becomes less, what happens?
Sagging.
Everything goes down.
Sagging.
Yeah. So things will start sagging down.
Sagging, collapse.
Yes, your skin will start sagging. Your uterus may start prolapsing. Your intestine hernias may happen. Anus prolapse may happen. No, and your ears, no, it can start, no, sagging down. All the saggings and prolapses are the deficiency. So deficiency of spleen. Even in spleens, what? Rising energy. A rising energy of spleen. If it becomes less, So what do we call this situation? We call this situation when all of things are prolapsing and sagging. We call this as
Thinking.
Yeah, spleen key sinking. So this is just an additional information for you to know, which we will discuss in the advanced classes in detail. Okay. So things are sinking in the body. So you start seeing prolapses. Okay. So this is clear.
Yes.
Everybody is with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, very much.
Yes, sir.
So it keeps all the organs in its physical position. Okay. So I've shown a picture over here. So this is like a prolapse, sagging part. So this, this way the stomach will start sagging if the spleen key is sinking. Okay. So even when you are upside down, say when you eat the food, how will the food go?
Vomit.
It will go like this.
Down. Stomach go down.
Like this. Or it will go like this, downwards or upwards?
Down towards the leg.
So in this position.
Always mouth to anus.
Yeah.
Raise.
So even when irrespective of how you are sleeping, you are standing, you are doing the upward down pose. So the food will still go towards the stomach. From mouth to stomach. Okay.
So even in the opposite direction, when someone is like this in the picture.
Yeah. So if somebody is doing upside down and if they eat something, how will the food go? The food will come back to mouth?
It's difficult.
It will not.
So,
why? It won't come back to mouth because the body is not moving the food from mouth to stomach through gravity. It is not moving through gravity. It is moving through peristaltic movement. So in esophagus, it will move like this. So the muscles will contract and expand and contract and expand, and it will push the food to the stomach. Right? It won't go because of gravity. It won't fall like you put a stone from a building. It just falls down. No, it doesn't fall like that. Okay.
So if someone has tendency to vomit or food is coming out, that means spleen is weak?
No, that is because we will have to understand. It can have multiple reasons. Okay. And okay, so we'll discuss this. Say, so as per TCM, see, every organ has an opening, right? Lungs opens through nose. Kidneys opens through ears. Liver opens through, means it accesses the outside world through, liver accesses through the outside world through
eyes.
So similarly, the opening for spleen is mouth. So mouth is the opening for the spleen and stomach also, because they are paired organs. So
sorry, sir. Mouth. What we when we say mouth, what is it?
Mouth.
What is it? Because in mouth we have tongue, and tongue is for earth. We have teeth, we have lips, we have cheeks. What is mouth in TCM?
See, tongue is related to heart, so tongue is not there. Teeth is not there. Teeth is bone. So the opening. Say, did you ask that question when we say, no, the ears? So, sir, ear has eardrum, it has so many other things. No, ear is one opening. Right? So, similarly, this opening which goes into the stomach.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. See, if everything is inside, do you want to see outside the house or you want to be kept captivated inside the house? Whoever is asking that question. Neelam, Narayanan. No, you have to access. No, when I say you, it is your organs are accessing. Okay. Okay, so this is the food enters through the mouth. Okay, so that is the opening. And when spleen is weak, spleen belongs to the earth element, right? Spleen belongs to the earth element. So when spleen is weak, the person feels like eating earthy element. So the person feels like eating earthy element. They want to eat chalk. Now what you write on boards, it will be weird things that they want to eat. They feel like eating those things. The chalk with which you write on the board. So they may want to eat like chalk, or they want to eat some pot. No, you break the pot and you will have some pieces, small pieces. They feel like eating the earthen pot pieces, or they will break some pieces from the brick and they want to eat that. So weird stuff they want to eat. They feel like eating it, and they tend to eat more sweets because the sweet is associated with earth element. Okay, so they tend to eat more sweet.
Sometimes pregnant women are eating sharks and
yes,
these things.
Yes. So because at that time spleen has to do lot of transformation, right? It has to create a new baby inside the abdomen. So it is overworking. So, and it becomes deficient. So at that time, especially pregnant women and all, they have these tendencies of eating chalk and earth elements. Okay.
Sir, even kids, right?
Yeah. So say you have to notice if they tend to eat often, it is becoming a tendency to eat that, then probably their spleen is deficient. Okay. And in terms of the food, what the okay, so I'll have to explain this. Let's say this is stomach and this is spleen. Okay. The energy, the direction of spleen. What is the direction of spleen? Downwards, upwards, sideways. What is it?
Upwards, sir. Upwards.
Upwards. That is why it has the raising power, right? And so what is the direction of stomach?
Downwards.
Downwards. So the direction of the stomach is downwards. So it has to push the food downwards, right, into small intestine, into large intestine, etc. So one is going down and one is going up. So what is the total net direction of, say, both stomach and spleen belong to earth element, right?
Stable.
So one is pushing up and one is pushing down. So the net direction results into what?
Null.
Balance. Null. Stable.
So this direction nullifies this direction. So the net direction is stable or no direction.
Answer.
Yeah. So that is why if you have seen the 5-element chart, in that no, the fire is moving upwards. Okay, I'll just write it quickly. So you know that, say, fire is moving up and say water is moving down, and wood
Everywhere.
it is
All
expanding.
direction.
It is expanding, and metal is what?
Contracting.
Metal is contracting, inward movement.
Earth is center.
Earth is center, stable. Earth is stable. Why? The reason is, why the earth is stable? The reason is this. Because one energy is
Nullifying the
other. You understood? Everybody understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so the spleen, the liking of spleen and the liking of stomach are opposite. Yeah.
Direction opposite, liking opposite, right?
Yes.
Right.
So the direction is opposite and the liking is also opposite. So let's draw the stomach. Say stomach is there. Okay. What is there inside the stomach?
Fluids.
There is fluids. There is fluids, specifically acids, etc. So it has fluids. So if the stomach has fluids, would it like dry foods or wet foods?
Wet foods, sir.
Dry food. Dry.
Why?
It has already fluids. Why he will need wet food?
So if
Wet
you put
food, humidity to go down.
so if you put dry foods inside the stomach, so what will happen to the fluids?
Ascending.
It will absorb, sir.
So it will absorb the fluids and the fluids will go down. Right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you have a rusk or a biscuit and you dip the rusk into your coffee cup or tea cup. So what happens to the rusk? The rusk will absorb all the fluids and it will become wet. But what happens to the coffee in the cup?
It reduces.
Reduces. Right? So the coffee in the cup reduces. So if the acids in your stomach reduces, so what will the stomach has to do?
To make new fluids.
Again generate it.
It has to generate the fluid once again. So it has to work hard to bring it up. Right? So would the stomach like to work hard or no?
No.
Stomach doesn't want to work hard. So what is the food that the stomach likes?
Wet food.
So, stomach likes wet food. So it doesn't want to lose its wetness. So it prefers wet food to come in. Okay. Everybody understood?
Yes.
So the spleen likes the opposite of it. So spleen likes dry foods and dislikes wet foods. So spleen likes dry foods and dislikes wet foods. Okay. This part is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So one likes dry food and one likes wet food. So what to eat?
Then what to do?
Medium food.
Balanced food.
So you have to eat balanced, both dry and wet. So the solution is balanced food. Okay. So if you eat too much of wet food, your spleen will become unhappy. It will become deficient. If you eat too much of dry foods, your stomach will become unhappy. So balance both dry and wet foods. It's clear?
So how a spleen likes dry foods?
The spleen is trying to say go upwards.
Okay.
Right. So when will it say the flight is going up? Okay. So when will it? What is the weather condition that the flight will like?
Dry.
Right. If it is dry, it will take off well. If it is all raining, will it take off better?
No, sir.
No, right? So the energy of the spleen is going upwards. So it requires dry environment. So whereas the boat which is flowing downwards in the river. So what should be the condition for the boat? Should it be dry river or it should have water?
Water.
Yeah. So stomach is moving downwards. No, the river is moving downwards, right? So the boat will float well if there is water. So if it is dry, the boat will not move. So if your stomach is all dry, will the food move downwards?
No.
No, right? So the stomach likes downward, stomach is downward moving. So it likes
wet food.
Sir, one basic
Can I ask
question.
a question?
Hold on. See, anybody who has question, raise the hand always.
But now nobody's raising their hand, simply they are asking question.
Ravindranath sir, don't argue.
Shall I ask or not? You can.
Please ask.
Sir, actually, this whatever you're telling, dry or wet food, suppose this food is going to spleen, then it is okay. It is a dry or wet, I like that. But first of all, food is not at all going to spleen. Then where is the question of is that it's like dry, I don't like wet like that?
See, food is going to stomach, but who is sending the energy to stomach?
Spleen.
So but sending the energy, how it matter whether this food is dry or wet?
No, you have to send according to that food, right? The type of energy you will have to send. Is it not? So depending on the type of food that you consume, say you eat fatty food, then your body has to release enzymes. Who is that? Sarala. Okay. So if you eat, say, fatty food, your entire digestive system has to release all the enzymes, etc., according to the food that you eat, isn't it? Yes, no. You eat more protein. So to break down the protein, it has to release that type of enzymes. You consume more sweet. So to break down and use that sweet, it has to release that kind of enzymes. Sarala?
Yes, sir.
Clear? Ravindranath?
Okay, sir. Anyhow, this is only always I am getting confused because first of all, this food is not at all going to spleen. But why this dry and wet only coming still okay? I'm not getting.
No, Sarala.
Yes, sir.
Don't unmute.
Okay, okay, sir.
There is a lot of background noise, no?
Okay,
I will ask you when I call your name, then unmute.
Okay, sir. One more thing I am observing: why your video switching between somebody actually? See, sometime your face will come, sometime others' face will come like that. Normally, you are the host, your face only always should get,
My face, I have pinned it, so it will come as it is, right? Say,
yes.
Say when you eat some cold food, you ate some ice cream, then your nose starts running, right? You gave the ice cream to your mouth. You did not give it to your nose. Then why is the nose running? Right? So somebody scolds you. The scolding is sound and it goes to ears, but your tears comes through eyes. The scolding did not go to the eyes. Did it go? Why is tears coming through eyes? So what goes there, only that has to work. So the body is far more sophisticated than our understanding. Okay. Our intention should be to understand more and more.
Okay.
Okay. So if you don't understand, you should tell that, okay, I currently don't understand, but you should not say it in such a negative sense.
No, not negative. Still, I am thinking.
And you should also develop this attitude of not arguing. Right? So when I say something, you should accept it. Or if you have something too much, there is a way to ask. So you have to have discussion, but not arguments. Okay, fine. Yes, Sarala.
Yes, sir. I have a doubt. Whatever we take dry or wet food, but that is going through saliva. With the help of saliva, it is dropping down. And now when it has gone down to stomach, it has become wet only. No?
Yeah, but how much wet?
Because as we eat, the saliva starts coming.
No, I got your question. What I'm trying to say is, it has become wet. How much wet? Say the wet food will become more wetter, right? Compared to a dry food.
Yes.
Right.
But we are using the water also.
We will use up the fluids in the body. The more dry food that we eat, so we will eat up the fluids in the body. Okay. Clear. Okay. Fine. So spleen likes dry and hot foods. Okay. So hot in nature. Like say ginger, say pepper, all of those are hot natured food. Hot in temperature and hot in nature. And what does it dislike? It dislikes, say, humid and cold raw foods. Spleen doesn't like raw foods, so it likes cooked foods. Okay. And stomach is the opposite. So it is stomach likes humid. Humid is moist foods, and stomach dislikes dry and hot foods. Okay. So it is two opposites. So what is the mantra for good health? It is balanced food. So you eat both. So you make both happy, the spleen and stomach. Okay. And spleen dislikes excess humidity, the environment which has excess humidity. Why? Spleen dislikes excess humid environment. So
Because
I told
humidity
you.
creates weight.
Yes. So humidity is related to which energy? So which element?
Earth.
Earth
element.
Yeah, and it creates a slippery environment. Okay. More humidity means, say it is like this. So excess humidity. So earthy element. Okay, earth is all quagmire kind of situation. And this is a dry situation. So if you want to go fastly, smoothly, effortlessly, which is the situation better?
Dry one.
Dry situation is better. And if it is all this situation, how will it be? It will be difficult to move. Okay. So if our body is like this, dry, so the energy will move fastly, smoothly it will move. And if our energy is like this, then it will struggle to move. So the lethargy will set in. The person will be more lethargic because energy is not moving. There's a lot of obstruction in the body. So if somebody has this situation, what should we do? So this is humidity, excess humid situation, right? So this is excess humid situation. So what should be our treatment?
Dry it.
We have to reduce humidity.
So we have to drain the humidity out from the body. Okay. How and all we will discuss. So in different organ, when the humidity goes and accumulates, so it will create different symptoms. So we will have to remove the humidity, and then what we have to do? We have to strengthen the spleen. Okay.
So, one question I have.
Always. You have raised it?
I raised.
Okay. No, hold on. Okay, you had raised, but I wanted to complete this and then take up the question. So if there is humidity, humidity creates resistance for upward movement. Okay. So hence spleen likes it dry. It wants it to be dry. And what depletes spleen? So there are many factors, and one of the important factors is if you think too much. If you think too much, so too much of study, too much. It doesn't mean that you stop studying, because it was told in the class that if you study, spleen will become weak. So I will not study to strengthen my spleen. No, that is not what I'm trying to say. So if you are too much, all the 24 hours somebody wants to study, means they are using up the energy, right? When you are studying, you are using the mental power. Okay. And too much of strain. So all of these things will deplete your spleen. So what all will deplete spleen? Eating too much of raw food, cold food, wet food, too much of that will deplete the spleen. And if you think too much, like extreme over studying, constant mental strain, all of that will reduce the energy in the spleen. And what else will it do? Like if you are irregular in your timing of meal, if your meal timing is irregular, that will also deplete the spleen. So the best time to have your meals are, breakfast is between 8 to 9. Best time is between 8 to 9. And your lunch time is between 12:30 to 1:30. And your dinner is between 7 to 8. So these are the best time. So if somebody eats breakfast at 12 o'clock or eats dinner at 11, 12. So what happens over a period of time? Their spleen's energy will go down. Okay. Okay. Yes. Now you can ask questions. Seema.
One clarification. So earlier we wrote spleen like sweet.
Yes.
So just wanted to clarify because
the food related with the taste related with earth element is sweet. Okay, so if somebody's earth element is less, they tend to eat more sweet. They have liking towards sweetness. That is one thing.
Hot food means temperature hot or like spicy?
What?
So you said hot food.
Spleen likes hot food both in temperature and nature.
Okay. Spicy also.
Yeah, spicy.
Okay. So sweet as well as spicy, both.
No. So spleen, spleen likes humid. Spleen likes dry and hot foods, and if it has become deficient, then they tend to like sweet. Because it is its energy. By eating sweet, it will tend to raise the energy. In another way, if we want to see it in terms of Western science, see what is happening is say there is a cell and there are organelles. There are organelles within the cell, means subsets of the cell. And there is external fluid. Okay, so there is internal fluid and intracellular fluid and extracellular fluid. Okay. Now, the cell requires what is the food for cell?
Glucose.
Food of cell is glucose. In another word, sugar. Okay. Now, when there is no diabetic situation, so the sugar is present. The sugar is present through in the external fluids. But the sugar is not able to enter the cell. So the sugar is not able to it is not able to enter. So now what happens? The cell is starving. So the cell is starving. And what does the cell say? I need food, I need food. Because I'm not getting the sugars. I'm not getting my sugar. So please send me more sugar. So what will the person tend to eat? The person tends to like sweets more at that time. So whatever sweet they eat, it doesn't go inside the cell, but it is floating around the extracellular fluid. So that is why what happens? So the blood sugar raises in those people because the sugar is floating around in the blood. It is not going inside the cell, right? If it goes inside, it will get utilized. So because it is not going inside, it is floating around in the blood. So that is why the blood sugar rises in those people.
So because of diabetes, there is a barrier?
Yes. There is a barrier, and it is also called insulin. It is called insulin resistance.
Resistance. But also the chrome is less.
What is less?
Chrome.
I did not get. Spell it.
CHROME. CHROME.
Chrome.
Yes.
What is this?
Oligo element.
No, repeat it.
Oligo element. It's like magnesium, potassium.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
This is when it is less, the cell doesn't open in order to take sugar and the glucose. This why there is insulin resistance.
Okay, chromium.
Yes, chromium.
Okay. Okay, fine. Thanks for the additional information.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody understood why blood sugar goes up?
Yes, sir.
It is not going inside the cell. So I was trying to explain the sugar, why people tend to like sugar more. Okay.
Thank you.
That. Okay. See, one more thing, very important thing that you will have to understand is why spleen's energy is upwards.
Because she is holding.
That is one explanation. And other explanation is, see,
the axis law is a yin organ, and the different axis is a yang, go up, and the stomach, yang organ, and the axis go down.
So what I'm trying to come up to explain is one phenomena which is there in the body doesn't have only one reason. So it has multiple reasons to exist. So if the spleen's energy is going upwards, so it has multiple reasons for it. And we are trying to discuss few reasons what we are able to capture as of now. Okay. So one more reason is, so what is it sending upwards? Its energy is upwards, but what is it sending? It is sending
food key.
Heat.
Food key to the lungs.
Food is sent to the lungs upwards, right? So if you have a house,
Sir, you're not sharing what you're drawing.
oh, okay, sorry.
Can't see, sir.
Yeah, I'm sharing. So if you have a house and the municipality will send you some water, right? The municipality, the local municipality will provide water connection to you. So when the water comes to your house, what do you do?
Pump it up.
Store it.
Store it in our
Where
tanks.
will you store it?
Underground
In
tank,
the overhead tanks.
Overhead tank.
No, it needs an engine in order to make it go up.
Yeah. So when the water comes, either you temporarily store it in the underground tanks, or no, directly, or what will you do? You will pump it up, right? So you will send the water to the top floor. Why?
Because
To
waterfall
use it
flows
afterwards.
To
down.
store it and use it later.
so that we can distribute it all around the building.
So once you send it up, it becomes easy to redistribute it, isn't it? So it becomes easy to redistribute it. So you can use a tap, no, in your kitchen. So you can use another tap somewhere in your bathroom. Etc. And the body is also doing the same thing. Once you receive the food key, it sends it up. Once it goes up, then redistribution of that water can happen easily throughout the body. Make sense why it is sending up?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Up in the body.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So that is what I was trying to explain here. So this is dampness. So this creates dampness, and this is more of a dry kind of situation. Okay. So how does in the body generally we have few things. First is we have humidity. And then if the humidity becomes more, what does it create? It creates
dampness.
Dampness. If the humidity becomes more, it creates dampness. If dampness becomes more, what does it create?
Stagnation.
Phlegm.
It creates phlegm and
mucus.
Infection also.
Okay, it creates phlegm. And if phlegm becomes more, it
blockages.
Mucus
creates heat.
Okay. So this is how it is. It is basically the thickness of the fluid is increasing. As you go in this direction, the thickness of the fluid is increasing. Or viscosity. Is increasing. Okay, so these terms will be used very often thrown around: humidity, dampness, phlegm, mucus. So it is all one same thing at a different levels of thickness. Okay. So if it becomes more mucus, it can become like more pus, or it can become some kind of lump, no, jelly kind of lump. So it is the same thing which is getting more and more and more thicker. Okay. Clear? Understood?
Yeah.
Sir,
And
so can I
hold
ask
on,
a question?
No, hold
Yes,
on.
sir.
See this jelly lump, then after some time can become into stone. Right? So there is stone in gallbladder. What is it?
Humidity increase.
So excess humidity in gallbladder. So there is stone in kidney. What is it? It is excess humidity in kidney. Right? Is it making sense? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you can ask your question, Fedwa.
Sir, in the last slide, there is constant thinking and the incessant study is weakening the spleen. I just want to know how it is. It could be. It could weaken the spleen.
Say if you say, as I gave you the example of stomach, right? It is holding the fluid, and if you keep on using the fluid more, what will happen? The stomach has to keep on regenerating the fluid. So, and after some time, what will happen to the stomach? It will become tired, isn't it? If somebody asks you to keep on doing the work again and again, just please hold on for a moment. Okay. What was I talking?
About constant thinking.
Yeah. So if you are constantly using up something, so you have to keep on producing it. So would you be getting rejuvenated with that, or you will be getting deficient with that?
Deficient.
Yeah. So similarly, when you are constantly thinking, so imagine that the energy is being sent upwards, and here you are constantly using it up. So what should it do? It has to keep on sending it upwards. So by keep on sending it the energy upwards, and if it is being wastefully used, so what will happen to the spleen? Poor fellow, he'll become weak, right?
Yes, of
He has to keep on sending the energy upwards. Clear?
Clear, thank you.
Yes, Seema.
Yeah, so when you were giving example that we store the water above the house, so when we relate it on the body, so the spleen sends the energy upwards. So what can we relate on the body? Like in the head, or?
See, it is sending the energy to the lungs, right? Through lungs, it is spreading in the form of defensive ki, etc. Right?
Okay, so brain is not involved in it.
See, at this point, you understand it in the form of lungs.
Okay.
Okay. So it is too complicated to be explaining everything in the basic classes. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Pallavi Kadve.
Yes, sir. Why the stone, like kidney stone, gallbladder stone, it is a humidity, not a dryness. Why it is not a dryness?
Why it
It's
is
a
not dry?
humidity.
See, why you are not asking, why is it not coldness? Why is it not wind? Why are you only referring to dryness?
Yeah, it can be. So it is shrinking, right? That's why I am asking.
See, imagine you are having sugarcane juice, right? And you keep on applying heat to the sugarcane juice. What will happen? It will start becoming solid. Viscous, and then slowly it will turn into jaggery, rock, isn't it? So the same is happening in the human body. So wherever the humidity accumulates, there heat gets generated. So that humidity and heat will work together. Let me write it. So if humidity increases in some place, what will happen? It will also increases heat. Heat starts increasing. Say this is, let's say, your sugarcane juice. And this is your heat, the flame. So when both these things combine over a period of time, what will happen? This juice will turn into
jaggery.
Jaggery. And jaggery is hard.
Stone.
And this we call it as stones. Okay.
But the process is not drying process in this.
Heating is what? In another way also drying.
Yes, sir.
Right. If you put your cloth onto the sun, the heat it will dry the cloth. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir, understood.
Yeah, Ujjwal Khadse. So it will be the last question for today, Ujjwal Khadse, and then I will give you the questions. Ujjwal Khadse, unmute yourself. You have to unmute. I can't hear you.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Sorry, Ujjwala Khadse. Yes, please.
Ujjwala Khadse. So this first humidity develops, then after humidity dampness, then flame. Or flame develops dampness. Due to the flame also it can happen, no?
No, phlegm, when you say phlegm, both of them are the same, but phlegm is more thicker than dampness.
Flame is more thicker. Okay, so it is like a cuff.
Yeah, so you can consider it is slightly thinner than the cuff. What you know comes out of your nose and mouth, it is mucus.
Okay.
So this comes out of your nose, and so this is phlegm is slightly thicker, slightly thinner.
Okay, so due to the dampness, it stores in the body.
Yeah, dampness stored over a period of time will turn into phlegm, and that stored over a period of time will turn into mucus. Mucus stored in a time can either turn into some lump or a stone or a pus.
Okay, okay, so thank you.
Okay, fine. So today we were supposed to take up some questions. Okay, So let me share. So how many of you prepared for the exam or test? Raise your hands, click on raise hand button. How many of you prepared? Eleven, 12. So only 10% of the class has prepared. Okay, so let me show the questions. So you have to answer it. So what you have to do? You have to write your name on a piece of paper, and then you have to write the question and write the correct answer, and then take a photo of it and send it to me. Send it in the group. Okay. So the first question is, lungs manages what? So, bones, body hair, head hair, or blood? Okay, so I will post these questions in the group also. So you will have to write your name on a piece of paper and write the question and the correct answer. Okay, so these are all simple questions. So lungs manages what? Lungs is related with which sense organ? So kidney manages what? And kidney is related with which sense organ? So corporeal soul is housed in which organ? Okay. Ethereal soul is housed in which organ? Essence is housed in which organ? Mind is housed in which organ? Spleen is managed by speech. Speech is managed by which organ? And which organ is called graveyard of RBC? It is all simple. Okay. So I will post these questions.
Can I write it right now if you leave it, because I am not in the group?
You're not in the group? Yes, please quickly make a note of it.
I'll take the photo maybe.
Yes. Hold on.
Take a screenshot, madam.
So because to write all of this will take time.
Yeah.
Okay. So you take a.
Just took the picture. Thank you.
So cannot maximize. So I have maximized it. So you all can see the questions, right?
Yes.
Clearly.
Sir, please share in the group also, sir.
Yeah, I will also share it. I will also share in the group. Okay. Fine. So you have to answer, write the right answer with your name and put it in the group, post it in the group. Okay. So you don't have to worry too much about the question right now. So by tomorrow, end of tomorrow, everybody should post their answers photo. Okay. Everybody is okay.
Is it in the Telegram group?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In the Telegram group.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So those who have raised your hand, Sibi.
Yes, sir.
Yes. What is your question?
Not for a question. Prepared for.
Okay, fine. Okay. Others are also the same. Soundarya Ganesh.
Yeah, we raised a hand for yes,
Okay,
for the
preparation.
yes, sir. We raised the hand for the exam.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So we have reached our time. So did you all understand today's class? Easy to understand or difficult to understand?
Wonderfully understood, sir. Thank you very much.
nicely, sir.
Sir, one question I have, can I ask?
Yes.
Sir, so for humidity, you were saying that heat is also there. So body sense the heat when
See,
there is humidity.
See, when the humidity collects in a place, heat develops. Say if you put some kitchen waste in one place.
Okay, yes.
After some time, what happens? It is turning into compost. Right? But if you put your hand inside the compost, what will be the temperature? It will be
It will
warm.
be hot.
Or
Yeah.
it will be
Yeah,
hot,
warm.
right? Yeah. So where did the heat come from? So heat got generated.
Generated.
So similarly, wherever kitchen waste is nothing but humidity, right? So similarly, when there is excess humidity in the body, the heat automatically gets generated. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Fine. I hope you all enjoyed the class.
Yes,
Thoroughly.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I still have a question from kidney.
What?
Good that you have your
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you ask your question, Pedva.
Yes, just 1 minute because I have it here. Yeah, in a kidney, there was a slide where it is written when oxygen is exhaled instead of CO2 and digestion of air. How can we know that we are exhaling oxygen and really this I don't understand it.
See, it is see what I'm trying to say. This is what goes in, the same should not come out. It should be processed and come out.
Yes, but how we know?
You don't have to see, you don't have to know. The body will start showing the symptoms. Say if oxygen, hold on. If oxygen goes in and instead of getting absorbed, it just comes out. What will happen to your energy level in the body?
You can't you can't have oxygen enough. You will first of all you will have a headache and you have problems with your heart.
You will have breathlessness.
Yes.
Yeah, there are so many symptoms. That is how we will know.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
सर एक क्वेश्चन था.
Yes.
सर अगर बचपन से किसी को मीठा पसंद हो तो उसमें क्या समझ सकते हैं?
Okay. So the question is, if somebody is liking sweet from very young age, what should we take it, understand it as? So it is, what should we understand? By birth, their spleen is weak. So, and that is why they are liking sweet more since birth.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome. Dr. Marwar, Neeta Marwar, you had unmuted yourself some time back. Okay.
Yeah, it was a nice session, and I think that you're having this session of question answers. Response would be very good. This feedback would be good for us and of course for you, but definitely for us that we'll go through the notes again.
Yes, yes. The notes that you make is very, very valuable. Okay.
So
good. Fine. So fine. I don't see happy, smiling faces. So if you have a happy face.
I actually answered the questions. Probably I can just send you the same thing like right now with my handwritten thing.
Yeah. Please send it in that. Okay. Fine. Okay. So I hope you all enjoyed, and also you got a lot of new information and you got benefited. So please send the answers, and in the next class we will discuss about stomach. Okay, so we have completed the yin organs. Okay, the 5 yin organs that we have. heart, lungs, kidney, liver, and spleen. Then now we will take up the next 5 yang organs. So in the next class, we will discuss about the stomach. Okay.
So would just thank you so much. I wanted to say a comment because it is now ending.
Yes.
So this was an eye opener for me because I mentioned you earlier about my mother, and she had very low platelet, 10,000 count, and doctors did not understand what is happening, and they diagnosed septicemia. So today I'm understanding that nobody checked the spleen that time.
Yes. So the spleen will be probably weak, and no, in terms of it is not creating enough platelets. So spleen not controlling blood will be a
And also the mystery was like she was getting purple patches and nobody connected it. So it's a very, very valuable thing that doctors don't see that way.
Excellent. So like when you see a patient, you have to see as a holistic, one whole unit. Every tiny thing in the body is telling you something.
Yeah, yeah.
Have that keen observation.
The problem is in modern medicine that there is no analysis for spleen.
Yes.
That is true.
This is a big problem.
Very little importance is given to that organ.
Yes, because for them it's a graveyard for RBC.
Yes, yes. Okay, so
Sir, I just have a question, sir. So do
Yes.
we have to write the question and the answer, or just the number ABCD is fine?
You just write the numbers and write
And then
the
ABCDs.
Don't
Okay.
just write the ABCD, write the actual answer.
Actual answer. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, so thank you all. So back
Thank you,
to
sir.
host. Back to the host.
Thank you,
sir. Smile, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you for this wonderful session.
Thank you, sir. Smile, thank you.
And today we completed in organs with spleen, and for functions of spleen as per TCM, we have learned that the main functions of spleen are: it digests foods and fluids, it disperses food chi throughout the body, especially into hands and feet. It controls the RBC, WBC, and platelets. It transforms, transports, holding, and raising. And it also helps in like the pancreas is to the right and spleen is to the left. So spleen is taken as one together for pancreas and spleen. So we learned more on this. So thank you so much for this wonderful session, sir. Let us meet next Tuesday, and I request everyone to put your answers in the group itself. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone.
Right. Good morning.
Good night, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Good night and good day to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye, everyone.
Bye.